Let's do this thing.
All right, Coach, being on the road this week, we didn't get to see a whole lot, or at least I didn't get to see in the newsroom a whole lot of the stats, just kind of the scores. Is this more like what you were expecting despite the loss? Play on the field, is this what you were expecting out of your team?
Yeah, we played a lot better. A whole lot better than we did the first two games. But, still didn't get enough done to win a game, which, obviously that's the most important thing is winning the football game. But I thought we played real well. I thought our defense was opportunistic for the first time in a while. They still had some big plays on us, but it wasn't as many. And A&M Consolidated is a really good team. Very, very explosive, good quarterback. Defense is fast and quick. And we had a really rough time with one of their tackles. Was in our backfield a lot. But overall, I thought we played pretty good. I thought we played pretty good on offense. Had 350-some yards of offense. But, I felt like we might have left a couple out there, or at least one out there. But besides that, the effort was great. The tackling was much better. And I saw a bunch of improvements, so I feel better about it.
Last week you talked earlier about turnovers and penalties. I mean, it seems like from everything I've seen,
Right.
you'll clean that up. But I guess,
Better.
You're feeling pretty good about that now?
Yeah, I mean, we only had one turnover, and then we had, I think we had 4 penalties on offense and a couple on defense. But, it was a well-officiated game. It was a pretty clean game, really. They just kind of let both of us play and called the obvious, and, I thought we played well. Our defense was very opportunistic. We hadn't been creating a ton of turnovers. Well, I guess more than in the past, but really had a couple of. I guess they were both pick sixes. They're kind of like fumble interception type deals. But man, they both turned into 14 points and kept us in the game, and gave us momentum when we needed it and things like that. And there at the end of the game, our defense had a big old fourth down stop, to give us the ball back right there on the 30 with an opportunity. We didn't capitalize on it, but they played well. I was impressed with them and thought we came a long ways from the first two games.
What was the biggest difference? I mean, what was kind of said? What was done? I mean, obviously this is a complete different team that we've
Yeah.
seen from the last.
I mean, it's not a whole lot said and done. It's just it takes high school kids a little while to figure things out. I mean, even though we got some kids back from last year's football team, we got a couple of key positions like quarterback that's got some veteran experience, but a lot of our positions don't. And it takes a little while to learn how to play at this level, and the speed and the angles you got to take and some things like that. And we've made some adjustments also to our personnel, moved some people around, and those things are starting to pay off. So, you may have a kid that played a whole bunch at one position, but he hadn't played at the position he's at now. So that you got to work through that too. So, seeing some bright spots, just got to keep getting better from here. The district's going to be tough.
You can look at, I mean, you said it before the season started, and the 3 games, non-district games, were all
Right.
quality opponents. I mean, you said that y'all could even potentially be 0-3 going
Right.
into district. You do mention that it's high school kids, and sometimes whenever you lose games, that can, I guess,
Right.
get to their head. Are they looking at it like, hey, we played some really good football teams, we're learning from our mistakes going into district, or
Yeah.
are they,
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, that's how we're acting. We had a great practice. We had great practices last week and today, and I think we're starting to mature a little bit and understand, what it actually takes to have success. And we've played, like you said, three quality programs. I mean, all on the road. That's something that when you're on the road, you're not only on the road. It's a 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour trip, and you have their officials, which that's the way it should be. But if there's a lot to it, there's a whole lot more than just showing up and playing a football game. All quality teams. I thought we played decent against Shoemaker. Did not play well at all against Schertz. And then I thought both sides of the ball played extremely well against A&M Consolidated. So, we just got to take what we learned there and build on it and get ready for Abilene.
Y'all's last.
Of course, now, like you said, you're facing Abilene. First of all, how does it feel, to know you're not going to have to get on a bus Friday and you get to have a home game and
Yeah.
all of that?
Well, we're obviously very, very excited about being able to play at home. Our team's excited. Our town's excited. And it's been a long time, since we played a home football game. It's been almost a year when you think about it. We're about a month away from being the last time we played in our stadium, which is very unusual, but we're excited. I mean, you got one of our traditional rivals coming to town, and both of us need to get on the right track, and I know they'll be prepared, and hopefully we're going to be there, ready to play, and probably have a great high school football game.
Last play of the game, or the last play for you guys was kind of a trick play. Despite the outcome of it, I mean, did you like the call? And, is that something that maybe y'all feel good about doing again in the future?
I mean, trick plays don't work when everyone's expecting them, and in that situation, it was our last hope, and they probably were looking for something like that. It was actually a play we had already ran once in the game, and what we were trying to do that time was just try to hit a different guy on the backside. But we've got different things in our pocket if we need it. We work on things all the time, but we just don't use them unless we absolutely have to. And we're not a trick play team. We never have been. We're a first down team. We're always looking for the sticks and feel like we can have a chance to stay in games. The drive we had right before half, man, that was awesome. I mean, that was a 2-minute drive there, and it was perfection. And those are the things you're looking for, Once you start doing things like that, then the next time you can do it, and the next time it gets easier. And so the game, the way the A&M game went, I thought our team hung in there and played 4 quarters and had some really good drives and some really good defensive stands. So we just got to build on that.
And what's the debate like, when you're in that position, you got one play, like talking about whether you're just going to run a regular
Right.
play, drop back and throw, or some kind of, little trick.
Yeah, I mean, we all talked about it. Me and Coach Crane and the other offensive coaches were on the phones together, and like you say, you don't have a whole bunch of plays where you can gain 20-something yards. I mean, you just don't have a lot of that. Nobody does, and we've got some trick plays that we like, and then we've got some. We could have Hail Married it. There's a lot of things you can do. That we just chose that one because we'd already run it once and thought they might. Be expecting something like that, and then put a little something different with it. And actually the ball it touched his hands. It would have been a heck of a catch, but the ball did actually hit our receiver's hands, and when that happens, you got a chance.
We're seeing Malachi he really kind of came into his own on Friday night, and certainly with Tyler Hill. Tyler made a fantastic catch before the end of the first half. Talk about this combination, what these guys are doing, and certainly Tyler has that with being a quarterback.
Yeah, Tyler gives us a little over the top speed, and that's kind of what our football team's missing is a difference maker type of somebody they got to worry about running by him, and he kind of gives us a little of that. So that's why we're playing him there. We got to find a place for him to get on the field. He's going to be our quarterback of the future, and we're well aware of that. But he's just a really good athlete that's a sophomore, and we got to find a spot for him to get out there. And we feel like he can help us at wideout. He's gonna rotate there, and I thought he played really well. Caught 1 touchdown. The other one was right there, man, and he had that ball. The guy just got lucky. His helmet came up, and just kind of his helmet popped it out of his hands, and he didn't even know he was doing it. And so that was one of those deals that just that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes.
Abilene, I guess shifting to that, Abilene, from what I understand about them, they've got a pretty solid running back that's a returner and everything.
Dodson.
I guess overall, what are some of their strengths that you've kind of seen on film?
Yeah, he's the biggest strength. I mean, he's a player. He didn't play against us last year because he was kind of nicked up, but he's full speed, looks good, man. Abilene's got a really good football team. Now, they're 0-2, we're 0-3. And both of us are, struggling, trying to find a way to win a game. And we're going to, open up with each other, and we're excited. I mean, we're always excited to play them. And it's the closest 6A to us geographically, so it means a lot. And I know they're going to come in here Friday prepared, ready to go, just like our football team. It's going to be 2 well-prepared teams that are going to play hard, and it's going to be a 4-quarter game. There's no doubt about it. It always is when we play. And I know they're you know, telling their kids, I'm sure the same thing we're telling our kids. And, you know, we're both looking for a win. So I think it's going to be a great ballgame.
Talk about how both teams are looking for a win. Just kind of talk about the importance of getting that first win and what it can do for football.
Well, I mean, it's just momentum, you know. I mean, it's just like anything. You just want to get off the Oldford, man. And when you do, it just feels better. It makes you feel better, makes your team feel better. And when you have it, it gives you a little bit of tight. You know, you're tight, your team's tight. Everyone's kind of worried. People are asking you around town what's wrong, and all that kind of stuff. So everybody, man, there. Like I said, you know, I probably said this a lot. There's nothing cures things like winning. You know, no matter what you're doing, winning cures it all.
The next stretch of games as you open up the district season, these are games that, you know, I guess if you look at them, these are games that Central should do something meaningful before you get to the stretch.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's a secret. Don't want to be negative at all, but if you look at records, Lee and Permian are probably the two best teams in the district if you're just going to base it off people's records. And from what the experts tell you and the polls and all that other stuff and the predictions. So I don't think that's going to surprise anybody that we think those are the two leaders of the district right now for sure. And we play them the last two games of the year. So they're all important. This Friday is all we're worried about right now.
Coach, this Friday, there's a lot to get excited about. You've gone down the list of things to get excited about. How do you kind of help the guys channel that energy so it doesn't come out uncontrolled for their first game? I really think we're going to be this is something that these kids, you know, been waiting on. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. I really don't. And I'm sure Abilene feels the same way. You know, we didn't even know we were going to have a season this year. And there was a lot of doubt. And here we are fixing to start district, and we're just excited to be able to go out and play and you know, do what we love to do. And I know Abilene feels that way too. And just going out there and being able to perform is really what it's all about. And we've got to get, you know, a win, and so do they. So I'm sure it's going to be desperate's too big of a word, but it's going to be two teams fighting hard, you know, to try to win a football game.
When you look at, I guess all the teams, these are all traditional rivals for all of them.
Yeah.
But I guess with Abilene High, especially with this group that's here, that's kind of been a consistent.
Yeah.
So would you say that maybe that's in their heads, like, hey, this is probably one of our biggest games or the biggest opponent?
I think this is just reality. Ever since I've been in San Angelo for 12 years, everyone in San Angelo wants to beat Odessa Permian worse than anybody. I mean, that's just the way the town feels. Abilene is a big rival for us. You know, I mean, it's like I said, they're geographically close to us. We kind of have been with them more since I've been here because of, you know, us going together out east and things like that. So personally, I mean, they're all big. But Abilene's a special one for us because I got a ton of respect for him. You know, Steve Warren won state in 2009, last West Texas team to do that. Got a ton of respect for their coaches right now. And I feel that way about all of our opponents. But it's a special game. But like you just said, they're all that way in this district. That's why we're so excited about being back out in it. You know, like, it doesn't matter who we play. Friendship, Odessa, Midland, you know, Lee, all of them. If we're going to play someone in this district, it's going to be an exciting, fun football game. And they're all well coached, you know, like tradition there where people care about it. And it's what makes it so, you know, it's what makes it cool.
Abilene was off last week, you know, and they got plenty of rest. They're probably well rested and plenty of time to prepare for this game, some extra time. How much of a factor do you think that was?
Well, I mean, you know, that's always a catch-22 as far as I'm concerned. You get more rest and you can spend 2 weeks on somebody, but also you're kind of missing an opportunity to get better. I never really liked my open date early. I've always wanted my open date to be down in about after 5 or 6 so that we can get better and then take a rest, you know. Early in the year, I want to play. And, you know, everybody feels different about it. But it is an advantage probably on their preparation. But it's also, you can look at it like we got a little bit of an advantage because we got an extra game to get better. So it goes both ways.